What is going on YouTube, and welcome back to my channel, JoJo Speaks. Thank you all so much for joining me for this being my review for RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 11 episode 3. So this is going to be a quick one, y'all. This was not one of my favorite episodes of RuPaul's Drag Race. I felt like the challenge was probably the most boring challenge I've ever seen on RuPaul's Drag Race. So before we get into it, got a couple things to say to y'all. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Press that big white subscribe button. It is free and easy to do. It takes less than a second to mash that thing. So go ahead and mash it for a brother. Also, be sure to press the thumbs up for this video. Let me know you're enjoying the content I'm putting out on my channel. Be sure to leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the challenge itself. Who you felt like should have gone into the semifinals. Do you agree with the two that are going to the semifinals? Let me know down in the comments. Or are you disappointed that it's not making it into the semifinals? Also, be sure to press the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And last but not least, be sure to share JoJo Speaks with all your family, friends, and loved ones. Let everybody know JoJo Speaks is out here in these YouTube streets. So last week, Dawn and Akira were in the top 2. Akira won the lip sync. So yeah, that's how last week went. And so the ladies are back on the couch and they're about to give their MVQ points out. So Lucky gives her MVQ point to Morphine. I believe Morphine gives her MVQ point to Lucky. Morgan gives her MVQ point to Akira. And I can't remember who Mystique gave her MVQ point to. For some reason, I can't remember. But we get into the challenge. The challenge is a spooky HSN QVC type of challenge. So they're playing different spooky characters and they're selling spooky merchandise. So they have to pair up with another queen and then they go in with the challenge. So first we have Morphine and Dawn. When I was initially watching the challenge, I did not think anyone necessarily did well. I was bored by honestly all of them, to be honest. Just to be honest, like when I was looking at it, I was not entertained whatsoever. But let's get into Dawn and Morphine. I thought Dawn did a great job of sort of kind of moderating the entire thing. It seems like she definitely had the lead amongst her and Morphine. I thought Morphine did okay. I don't think anyone necessarily did bad per se, as though it was hard to watch. It just was not entertaining or funny to me. But I thought Dawn did a great job of, setting the pace for the challenge. And, she was supposed to be a werewolf, if I'm not mistaken. And, she made a couple of werewolf noises. So she definitely did what she was supposed to do. I thought Morphine did great with her hair and makeup. I can't remember exactly what she was supposed to be honest. But she had the whole wig with the center almost carved out like that, and she was bleeding and all that good stuff. So as far as effect is concerned, Morphine hit it as far as the effect is concerned. But as far as her talking, Morphine has never really been the best at improv. Although during Morphine's original season 16, initially I wasn't the biggest fan of hers, but as the season went on, I started to fall in love with her. And so I do like Morphine as a drag queen in general. Then we have Mystique and Lucky Stars. Lucky Stars was supposed to be a vampire, if I'm not mistaken. Once again, I can't remember exactly what Mystique was supposed to be, but I thought Lucky did decent. I loved her costume. I don't know what had it. I don't think it had anything to do with being a vampire, but I loved the costume itself. I thought it looked great. I thought Mystique looked decent as well. Mystique was like the mother or maybe the stepmother. She really wasn't that nice to Lucky. When Lucky was asking questions, Mystique was like, if you would listen, you'd find out what exactly it is I was trying to say. So Mystique she wasn't entertaining. It was like a teacher or a mother trying to, teach their child what to do or whatever the case might be. And Lucky was just doing what Lucky does. She was just, flying by the seat of her pants. She was just doing whatever came to her mind. So, once again, it wasn't entertaining or funny necessarily, but I guess they did okay. But to be honest, Lucky Stars and Mystique will probably be the worst group out of the 3. Then we get to Morgan and Akira. I thought Akira did great. Honestly, I thought Akira was the best one, in my opinion. I don't know exactly why she was putting on a Southern accent. I guess a lot of people, when they think comedy, they think, oh, if I put on a Southern accent, everyone's going to laugh. So I don't know if that was her strategy going into the challenge. I thought Morphine looked great. Morphine was supposed to be a ghost. Um, and I thought her hair, makeup, and outfit were amazing. I thought they worked very well together. They're obviously really good friends, and you can tell during the challenge. And so, to be honest, in my opinion, it should have been Morgan and Akira in the top. In my opinion, I thought that they did the best overall. Um, so then we get to the judges' critiques, and the top two are Morgan and Dawn. Dawn has made it to the top three in all three challenges, to the top two rather in all three challenges. That's good for her. Do I think that they were deserved? Maybe not this last one. Once again, I thought it should have been Morgan and Akira. I was really surprised that Akira didn't make it into the top two. RuPaul had some type of criticism about Akira that really didn't make much sense to me. So I don't know. I don't know. But Morgan and Dawn do the lip sync. Dawn wins the lip sync, her first lip sync win on RuPaul's Drag Race. So congratulations to Dawn. And so it's time for the ladies to give out their MVQ points. Akira gives her MVQ point to Morgan. I believe Mystique gives her MVQ point to Akira. Lucky gives her MVQ point to Morgan, if I'm not mistaken, and I think Morphine does as well. So it turns out that Dawn is going into the semifinals, but Akira and Morgan are tied with the second most MVQ points. And so the tiebreaker is going to be RuPaul. And RuPaul chooses Akira. I'm so happy that Akira made it into the semifinals. I would have been really happy if Lucky made it into the semifinals because I do like Lucky a lot. I like her as a drag queen, although her like pretty girl makeup isn't necessarily the best. Like she paints herself really light for some reason. I don't get why. But I do like Lucky as a person. Like Lucky seems to be like a very great person to hang out with, a great person to have fun with. Lucky seems like an awesome person. So I was happy to see Lucky on this All Stars, and I have a feeling that all the All Stars from here on out, unless they try to make a change somewhere along the line, is going to be the bracket system, which I hate, as I've said before. But yeah, we got to deal with it as fans of RuPaul's Drag Race. But I was rooting for Akira the most in this bracket. So I'm so glad that Akira made it into the semifinals. And I have a feeling it's because RuPaul saw that Akira was loyal to Morgan, even though Akira knew it was between her and Morgan, who was going into the semifinals. Akira still gave Morgan her MVQ point. And I don't know if I would have been able to do that at all. I don't know that I'd be able to do that. And of course, Morgan feels okay about it because it was between her and Akira, and it's because they're such good friends. She didn't mind being ousted by Akira. So it's going to be Dawn and Akira going into the semifinals. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments. Let me know if you agree. Was there another queen that you wanted to make into the semifinals? Let me know down in the comments. Be sure to join me every Thursday night at 8 p.m. for my live Hot Topics and Social Commentary show. I go live every Thursday night at 8 p.m. with my sister Prophetic Fire Reiki, as well as our friend Bianca Edwards. We always have a great time talking about the latest happenings and goings on in the world. So join us every Thursday night at 8 p.m. I love you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.